Hello, welcome to Tattoo Twin Tarot. Today is a bit different. Today we're going to be talking twin flame and what is a twin flame and why we was put here to be twin flames. Is everybody a twin flame? No, they're not. Are there a lot of people who think they're twin flames? Yes. Are there a lot of people that watch twin flame readings over and over and over and then wonder, why aren't my divine masculine coming in? Well, the reason you're a twin flame is because you're here to change the world. You are here to change people's perception on things. We normally take walks in life that most people would judge, look down on. We are generally different. We generally have to go through things over and over again, very painful cycles that were given to us, by our parents and generations above us that we had no control over, but they land on our shoulders and they come in the form of pain. So cycles and issues that your parents, that your grandparents and great-grandparents went through will all land upon you, and you will experience all and each one individually to break you open, not break you down, but break you open. And you have to learn how to release and heal those pains and cycles that are given to you. I.e., we are normally cheated on. If you're a divine feminine in nature, you're normally cheated on. You normally crave love. You normally chase love. You normally chase the same kind of relationships over and over. And you don't necessarily get anything back the way or the amount in the way that you put it in. So what is a twin flame? A twin flame is a soul connection between two people that are written in the I can never say this word. It begins with A, but I'm not even going to try. No, I'm not. Okay. I can't say the word. Anyway, yeah, records. I will find it and it'll be underneath in the link. I will write it down. And these records are records of your soul path before you was born. You make a soul contract with somebody, and your soul at the moment of birth is split into two. So you normally walk through life feeling very alone, very different, finding relationships that don't really fulfill you, chasing things that really don't really matter, coming from a world where you were probably never perceived as good enough, or that's how you perceived it, carrying burdens of parents and of yourself, a lot of shame and guilt attached to those painful cycles that you walk down. I'm a single mother of 7. I've reared and had the gracious opportunity during my life cycle of raising another 3 children. One before I even had children, many moons ago, almost 21, 22 years ago, a little boy named Jake, who I have not seen since the day he got ripped out of my arms by his mother, who had dropped him off at me when he was 3 weeks old, and at 18 months decided that she wanted all these things and him back, to only hand him over to social services in front of me and say put him into a care home. The kind of heartbreaks that you face and that you feel are life-changing. The relationships will come in. You will get cheated on. If you're the feminine or if you're the masculine, you tend to be the one who cheats and you don't know why. Every love, you chase the adrenaline part of it. If you're a masculine, you tend to walk down cycles of roads that lead to drugs and alcohol abuse. Can a feminine adopt the masculine energy? Yes. Can a masculine energy adopt the feminine energy? Yes. And with each relationship that you go through that brings you even more pain and even more hurt and even more sorrow, these are brought to you for you to learn. The learning isn't so much in your face up until the moment you finally meet your twin flame. I finally met my twin flame after my marriage of 14 years dissolved due to him cheating. I stepped back. I stayed single. And about 9-10 months after I was finally free of my ex-husband, I met my divine masculine. You know, when you meet your divine masculine, everything within you completely is shook up. I felt like I'd never breathed an actual breath until I met him. I had this spark that was ignited in me almost instantaneously when I met him. He was a lot younger than me. I was 31. He was 17. I didn't know he was 17. I didn't know his true age, which by the time I knew his age, he was 18, until I was pregnant with our then second child. Our first one, I miscarried. I was a vegetarian, and I changed everything about who I was for him. I didn't have boundaries. I didn't know how to implement boundaries. I was a child who was raised in a household where love wasn't freely given. So I was very codependent. I was very needy. I was very insecure. I didn't have boundaries. And I was very moldable. So when he left, which he did many, many times, I would feel completely and utterly lost, devastated. I'd cry. I didn't know how to live life without him. My divine masculine and me connected 11 years ago. And it took years and years of this in and out relationship with the same person who I couldn't resist. No matter how much I said I was never going back, I hated him. He cheated on me with my cousin when I was pregnant. He was addicted to drugs. Not that I knew it was addiction at the time. I didn't really even know what addiction were. During the process of us separating, I had to move away. I picked up a drug addiction of my own. And I still had to carry on in life. I learned to curve it. I washed it under the carpet as it's just a social thing now. And it took me a lot of years to understand the toxins that I were, and the devil within me was the devil that attracted him. So for every boundary and every toxic side of myself I had mirrored within him, because twin flames are mirrors of each other. When you meet, you're in an alignment. And the only way that you can reach the full happiest potential in a twin flame relationship is to heal. Heal the need of needing somebody. Healing the need of feeling as though you have to make somebody else happy, because that's how you keep them. When you realize that there is nothing you can do other than heal yourself, love yourself, put boundaries up to protect yourself, they will never, ever come in and treat you as you should be treated. They are your lesson in life to put you first. The second you start to heal and you start to put in those boundaries, you start to look away, i.e. don't check their social media, don't worry about who they're with, don't worry about what they're doing, and really start focusing on you, they come in. I'd noticed this for years beforehand, before I fully understand the healing process. So I would get to the point when I'd had enough of him, he was with somebody else, and then all of a sudden they would fall out and he'd be back at my door. And every single time I took him back. And there was nothing I could do internally to turn off those feelings. So 8, 9 years down the line, he went off and had children with somebody else. I had a child with somebody else. But yeah, every time their relationship went sour, it was me he came running back to. We had a really strong magnetic connection, which meant our sexual energy was electric, and the devil within the need of having him and keeping him, and me of lacking of boundaries, meant that I was always going to be the other woman that he ran back to, his comfort blanket, until I realised what love was. And it wasn't about feeling for somebody else. It wasn't about watching his profiles. It wasn't about making him see my worth. It was about making me see my worth. It was about me healing my issues of needing to be with somebody who didn't love me correctly. It was needing to feel as though I was whole when I was with him, and without him I was empty. The second I turned away and I looked at me and I focused on me was the moment that when he came back, I looked and I said, no, I'm not doing this. I've been here before, and I don't love you like that to allow you to come in to do all those things that you used to do to me. Now, this process of healing, properly healing, took me about 2 years. Even so much as 6, 7 months ago, the person I was in my healing process is completely different to who I am now. I am now completely aware of what I'm worthy of. I had to cry a lot of tears. I went through the darkest night of the soul, where I met a guy after my twin flame and me split up, and he was the catalyst. And this catalyst opened up and awoken all of the same kind of broken parts that my twin flame had shown me, and I couldn't understand how I would be so stupid to fall for it again. But I had to experience that love for him to awaken me to start putting those boundaries in place. So I kind of went a bit AWOL. I lost my mental ability to cope with life. I was diagnosed with a lot of different mental anguishes and conditions, from bipolar to PTSD, from personality disorders. I was very narcissistical, very toxic in that relationship also. I was an absolute control freak. And no matter how much control I had, I still couldn't stop him cheating. So when he left, I went through a massive dark night of the soul. Massive. And I thought he was the love of my life, and I was going to change and heal, and I would get him back. Until about a year and a half after, when I realised he was just the catalyst to wake me up to heal, so I could be the best version of myself to align with the guy who I'd met 11 years ago, who was my true twin flame. Now, how do you heal? People say that's easy. How do you heal? People always talk on these twin flame videos and how do you heal? How do you heal? Okay, so healing is getting back into alignment with your divine masculine and starting to see something that doesn't quite add up. In the past, I'd be like, don't rock the boat, because he might leave again, because he has this inevitability of leaving. And my father walked out on me. I didn't have my mom and my family in my life for such a long time that I had this deep yearn of losing people, and this insecurity of losing people around me. And I had to have that in order to wake myself up to understand that I am who I am. And the only person in my life I should be worrying about losing was me. Because in this process of this twin flame, I went through such a low point. All I wanted to do was kill myself because I couldn't see a way out no more. The pain and the torture, the voices in the head, the insinuous torment that was created, and the whooshing of voices in my head, and my mind wouldn't stop, my inability to relax and chill. I didn't know what peace were at all. So I cut off social media. I walked away from people that I classed as friends. I walked away from people who accepted the dark side of me with drug addictions and alcohol, who slagged me off for, you're not the same person. Where's that bubbly party animal? Well, she doesn't need to fill your cup up to feel like she's worthy of something anymore, because those energies of being in those alcohol and those drugs and those party scenes was keeping me away from reaching my true potential. And it got to the point where I hated me. I used to think I hated the world and I hated people, when in true fact was I hated who I was. And I didn't like who I was until one day I couldn't take no more. And I started on YouTube, and I used to watch videos and tarot readings. I didn't really know much about tarot readings. I didn't really know much about tarot. This was about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And this is when I come across a woman who was straight talking. The words she said resonated so deep in my soul. When she started talking and she mentioned this word twin flame, I'd never heard about it. I knew straight away, that is who I am. This reading is mine. So that's when I started looking into what is a twin flame. And everything that came up, I'd tick that box. I'd always known I was intuitive. I'd seen dead people. I'd heard voices from a young age. I'd know when the phone was going to ring. I'd know when people were going to turn up. I'd know that if I went into town today, I'd go, I've got a feeling I'm going to see so-and-so today. And I did. Those things are called your intuition. Those are the things that for so many years I've been told to, shh, you sound crazy. Because I was raised in a household that it had to look good on the outside. And what you perceive on the outside is not what was going on the inside. And I was victim of that, and I become a perpetrator of that in my own world also. And I wanted that to change. And the only way that was going to change is if I changed. That beautiful soul was Cindy, Miss Cindy G, from A Cup of Love Tarot, over there in America. She's my soul sister. She is somebody who I connect with on a very, very regular basis now. And she has brought in so many people into my world that are here to help and heal, because they have been